You guys remember we covered Inventing Anna, um, the show on Netflix that is about Anna Sorokin, the um, what do they call it? They
Fake
call her
heiress.
the fake heiress. Yes, yes. So she has, that friend of her, Rachel Williams.
Hmm.
She has been busy.
She wrote a book after the whole shebang happened. She was the one who worked at, was it Vogue that she worked at?
And Vanity Fair, I
Vanity
think.
Fair. And,
Yeah,
went on the trip to the Middle East, I believe, if I remember correctly,
yeah.
to the big resort. And they got stuck at the resort. And she had to put it on her work credit card and she got in trouble. That's the woman that we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So part of the charges on Anna Sorokin when she had her lawsuit was also the charge from Rachel Williams that she might have stolen from her essentially. But then Rachel lost that. However, now she has decided to continue
She's
to
not giving
continue to
up.
capitalize off of the situation
There you go.
and has decided to sue Netflix for defamation.
Okay. That's good. Um, yeah, there she is. There's the
Yeah.
real two, not the actresses. Good luck. I don't think that. I mean, I remember very, very clearly, and I would imagine that that would be helpful in court. In the beginning of every episode, they imprinted it somewhere on the wall, or they made it a big point to say like, "This is based on real events, but things have been exaggerated, and half of it's not true, and we made stuff up." So I think
Yeah.
they were pretty
She
clear about it.
she claims that they used her real name and too many like identifying details
Oh,
that point to her, and that they if they wanted to do that they should have used a different name, and not show pictures of her because they did show pictures I think at the end.
real ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had a bot if they purchased any rights because I never understood that, like buying the rights to your life story. Like if you go to jail or something or you murder everybody and then they like buy the rights and now you have money. I never understood the concept of that, like how that works. And I wonder if they paid her at all in making the series or if they did not. Because that would kind of factor into whether she deserves money or not now.
I mean, I'm assuming if this is true, they would have paid Anna because this was Anna's life story.
That's true. Yeah. So, but I guess, yeah, that's a good point, though. Like, okay, so if Anna says, yeah, this woman was in my life, she gets no rights to say, I don't want to be included.
The thing where I feel like she has a little bit of she makes a good point is that it is not a documentary.
Yeah.
This is a TV
Fictional.
show, and they did use her real name, and they did point to her. And even in the show at the end, there's like a whole section when she was like in the court, and they were accusing her, and they were like, "You got 300,000 or something off of this," and so on. And that's pretty much how she lost the how they didn't end up charging Anna for it. But I feel like this is I don't know, this is almost like confirming that she is like trying to capitalize off of Anna, because like
Yeah.
it's like
Move
she
on.
won't let it go. And it's, is she looking for a settlement? What is she going to win at the end of the day? Like, what? And she wants an apology from Netflix. What does she want? Because like she definitely does not just want an apology. She wants money, probably, right?
Probably wants money and she probably wants to be in the headlines again, maybe to be a figure, to become an influencer or something. I don't know. I don't know what her angle is. But all press is good press. So she's getting more press again. Maybe she felt like people were forgetting about her.
Yeah,
If your name is
yeah.
Rachel, you have instantly you're born into a struggle. I agree. Everyone named Rachel lately has been like problematic.
This is, yeah. I was like, the minute I saw this, I was like, I'm like just rolling my eyes, like, oh my god, Rachel, just kind of forget about
Just
it,
chill.
move on with your life, whatever.
Yeah.
You got a book out of it. You just you're fine, you know. But I think it's not enough. Like she wants more. um
Yeah. I think some people, and I don't know where her motives are coming from, but sometimes, she might have been contacted by a lawyer who convinces people like, hey, that you have a case here, like don't let this, go, or I could get you $1 million. Wouldn't that be nice? And of course, if someone called me and said, hey, I can make you $1 million, I'm like, all right, sure. But sometimes it could be an outside influence, perhaps, that put the bug in her ear and she's, going forward with it. Or like you said, she could just be not over it, wanting to be vindicated again more. Or
yeah.
she didn't like that she was seen as the villain even through her own book.
The thing with that is that I find that it probably does have an effect in your life, because if something like this comes out and then your boss sees these things, like your friends or whatever, and obviously like it becomes a whole whirlwind of opinions and people just being like, oh, you're so, like, I saw it in the show, you're so annoying, or like,
Yeah.
and she having to be like, but this is a made up show, this is not, like,
Yeah.
I do understand how this could be affecting her, like
Sure.
in her real life. So
Jobs.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not like, it's hard for me to say like that she's really it obviously that, yeah, money will make this better. But um I feel like it is kind of affecting you, because imagine that, like,
Yeah. No,
everyone,
I
your
agree.
mom, your dad, your, like, your Steven's mom and dad or something, like they're all like, "Oh, I saw you in that show." Like, yuck. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just affecting everything.
Yeah. I think she would have a better case, and I don't know anything about law, but just in my uneducated opinion, she would probably have a better case for me if she was like suing like a likeness thing. Like the Netflix show producers took my likeness without my permission, as opposed to defamation. Because defamation is hard to prove, and you have to. I was under the impression that you had to knowingly know something was a lie, and still post it, produce it, use the name, insinuate things, knowing that it was a lie. If you believe in your heart that it's true, or someone gave you information that you believe to be credible, and then you post it, at least in the news, you can't be held responsible for defamation because it's not your fault. If you've done all your research and it comes up wrong, you have law. You're able to get off without causing whatever. So I
But
don't
that's when
know.
you have like a real thing. But when it's fiction, it's a lie by default because it's fiction.
Yeah. Or I guess if they depicted her that way falsely, knowing that it was false, just to like make her look bad.
Yeah, there needs to be an element of like of,
Deception or yeah,
yeah, and
deception. I
of
think
just
that's part of it.
doing it on purpose, like hurting someone on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, defamation is hard to prove, but I don't think that's the thing. I don't think that she wants to prove anything. She wants to settle, probably.
Yeah, she's like, let's just do this off the books.
Like she would want to just, do this and be like, okay, I'm willing
Send
to
me
go
a
all the way.
check.
And
Yeah,
then,
I'm
for
down.
Netflix to be like, okay, let's just shut this down. Like send her like 10 grand or something.
Netflix is struggling. They need like, we need every dollar we can save. Let's take
You
her to
think?
court. Yeah, probably. They're like gonna put ads on their videos. They must be struggling. Our girl
Rach,
never catch a break.
Yeah.
Rach.
Rach. I just want to play it over and over again. It's in the background of
I
all of our
did
Rachel
feel
talks.
I did feel like it is, I don't know. It is annoying if you go with someone who's like, I'm gonna pay, and then you have to end up paying 60 grand. Like, I don't feel like that's
She got it back though, didn't she?
like it was removed
Yeah.
from her credit card company. But even if it is removed, I feel like for a period of time, like that's a lot of anxiety to think like I've just spent 60 grand on my company credit card.
Sure. I guess the determination is like, how much is that worth? How much is your anxiety worth to a court, or to anyone else? Like, okay, like suffering and whatever, you have to put a price tag on that. It's hard to do that when everything turned out okay in the end,
Yeah, that's true.
you know?
I know. I feel a little bit sad for her. I do feel a little bit sad for her, but at the same time,
Interesting.
she did get like an article, and then she got a book deal off of that, and she made plenty of money, and
Mm-hmm.
potentially she might be making some more money now. So, you
Yeah,
know, I guess, but I do, even with the money making capabilities that she's displaying, I still think that was a stressful, awful situation to be in. You
I
know.
agree. I agree. I don't think that's a good position to be in. But you know who's probably more stressed? Anna. As her whole entire
Oh,
world was crashing down, her whole
oh
make
my
believe
God,
world.
yeah. Anna.
I think this about Rachel.
You are privileged AF.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
I
I can
would
also
agree.
see getting a settlement. Okay. Do you have more things to say about this? I have to pee so bad. I'm so sorry. I did this yesterday. I felt guilty. But,
No, yeah, go on.
okay.
We're- Go.
Continue the conversation. It sans me.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would love to hear what you guys think about this, because I feel a bit like I'm on the fence. Like some part of me wants to think that, she's totally clean and she's not doing this with any like intentions and whatever. But then the other part of me is very much like, um clearly she's getting money and she wants more. So I'm just a little, I find it a little hard to decide on which side I'm on. Hi, Rahel. Um, she's been getting harassment since, yeah, I this is the thing. I feel like you would be getting harassed by everyone online, by people who are now Anna fans and so on, but also just like everywhere you go, your family, your Christmas dinner, your whatever, everywhere you go, everyone would be knowing about this, and it does not look good in the show. It definitely does not look like she's a good person or anything. Does it? It didn't look like that to me. Like it looked like she was a bit shady in the show. Thank you for subscribing. So yeah, I guess that's my take on it. I think it's interesting because I this was one of the books that I brought from Scotland because I had it. Um, and I just found this whole thing with Anna Delvey to be fascinating. So it was interesting that this is not over yet.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you reach the end of a thought?
Well, to be honest, like what I was saying is just that I can't really figure out where to place myself. If I am like, oh, Rachel is just doing this for money, or, this must suck for her too. So
If you're a stan or a hater?
yeah,
I
yeah, I
think I'm
don't
a
know.
hater more so. I don't know. I think it's my bias though because if she was someone who if she was one of the employees that worked at the hotel or something that was just trying to make it and got scammed by Anna, I would definitely 100% be on their side. Like that sucks. But, seemed like a little bit of like, oh, you're rich and you have connections. I'll be your friend. Oh, you're going to pay for dinner. I'll be your friend. Oh, you're going to screw me over. And now I'm going to like destroy you with everything I have. It seems a little unfair.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but that's my
I
impression.
agree.
That's what I've been told via the Netflix series and the documentary. So
But that's the thing. See, this is the thing.
we
They
don't
like
really know.
Anna looks amazing. Anna looks like a genius and like whatever. And Anna's the actual scammer there.
Sure.
Anna is the actual like proper scammer. Like and she tried to scam banks out of like millions and millions, and she looks like this genius who is
Yeah.
just misunderstood and is just doing it for the little guy. And if and in this whole story, the one person that needs to look bad is Anna, but it doesn't. She looks amazing. Like everyone
Yeah.
loves her online. She's been selling, I don't know if you've seen this, but she's been selling her drawings and stuff, and people are
Uh huh.
buying. It's like
Yeah.
I want to buy.
That's
I'm so
capitalism,
brainwashed.
baby.
I want to buy it.
It's weird. It's a weird world we live in.
Yeah.
I think I at first I watched it and I was like, okay, she's She's cool. She's pretty badass, and it's everyone else that's stupid for believing her. You know, I think though over time that I've like ruminated on it, I'm like, yeah, you know, that isn't cool. And some people pointed out that the people at like the staff members got screwed too, or like the waiters, and those are the type of people that I feel like that's a huge injustice to. So, you know, even if she was willing to screw over one for her own, like, I'm an heiress, then I'm off her team. So I've sort of grown more angry at her as well, and angry at the whole lifestyle, that is something that exists. Like, oh, I can just create a fake persona and be accepted in this group because I present the air of wealth. Like, that just is so disgusting to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
over it. Not a fan of either one of them.
But I feel
Down.
like the bigger scammer is Anna, and there is some sort of injustice in the fact that Rachel looks worse than Anna. Like there's some of
They're
that is
both bad.
like because of the level of obsession that we have with like these swindlers, that we just think they're amazing, and like, and I think this obsession that we have as a society with them has made it so that we are literally like
Idolize them.
blaming normal people for like little things, smaller things. And then when it comes to this actual swindler in the moment, we're like, yeah, amazing, love it. And I did it myself because I remember when we posted this, and I was like, I think
Same.
this is so cool. Like,
She makes the Tinder swindler look like a total douchebag, though. Like her stuff was not as bad as his. I think his was way worse. But then
yeah,
also you have to blame a little bit on the people who were accepting the dates and sending him all the money too. In that case, because they were also he was manipulating them, but they were also letting their, greed, I think, or hopefulness that, he was going to pick them to be the wife and have this rich life together. That was clouding their critical thinking
judgment.
skills.
Yeah, yeah,
Agreed. So again, balance between the scammer and the victim. You gotta, I can have sympathy all day long, but if you show up and you're just not making rational decisions, purchasing decisions, sending money, like, you got to take some personal responsibility.
Yeah,
Can't be totally
yeah.
innocent.
And it's the same aspect of the personality does that, because both Anna, both the Tinder swindler, and Rachel, they all got greedy. That's what happened there. Like, maybe Rachel got greedy with like going on a trip, but Anna got greedy with like millions. So, you know what I mean? But it was the same thing. They got greedy, and
Yeah.
that's why I find it so. And at the same time, like, I feel like it's a guilty pleasure, but I feel like I should feel guilty for it. You know what I mean?
That's not a
Like,
bad thing, though. Feeling that you should feel guilty is a good sign of growth, I think. And especially someone who is widely, hailed as something else. Like, if you think someone's hailed as a hero and you look at them and go, I'm concerned, or I have feelings, or vice versa, someone's hailed as a villain or held up as a villain and you think like, actually, it's not so bad. I think that's a sign that you're critically thinking about the situation. Now, whether you're right or wrong doesn't matter, but at least you're not being swayed by the percentage of people who feel X way. It shows that you're able to look at it from your point of view perspective, which I like.
yeah, and I'll admit it didn't happen initially.
Yeah, me neither.
This is after reflection.
Yeah, and time, that's what on this channel, and I feel like in the community that we have, sort of created, I don't know if we created or joined or made or whatever on YouTube.
It's a cult, you guys.
Manifested, woman-fested ourselves from the ether. I would hope that, time is the factor that allows you to make different decisions. And that I wouldn't be like, well, you said 2 months ago that you liked her. So like nothing that you say from then now on. Well, now I do that to, other people. But for you, it's okay.
Hey, we're not talking about the people like we criticize.
Yeah, no, we're talking about us. Okay.
This only applies if you are the critic.
Exactly. Exactly.